Hey guys, how's it going? This is Khan, Mr. So Real, and welcome to another episode of Good or Garbage, the #1 place for you to check out what is being sold in the division this week, and you can find out what kind of weapons, mods, attachments, gear, and anything that's worth your hard-earned Phoenix credits, DZ credits, or regular credits that's being out there this week that you need to pick up. So as usual, we're going to go over things in great detail, but I'm going to have a nice little preface to let you guys know, if you just don't have the time, what stuff you need to go and pick up now. Alright, starting off this week, getting into the good and skipping out on all the garbage, the stuff that you definitely need to pick up. You need to go and get the Navy MP5 Blueprint that is in the base. That is definitely a must-have. One of my favorite SMGs, and I think a fan favorite of a lot of people. For the PlayStation 4 people, we finally get this, so definitely go and pick that up. There's also a Firearms Mod with 264 firearms and 3% skill haste being sold in East 64th Street. That's way up there by DZ9. The Centurion this week is pretty good. The Deadeye mask in the base is also pretty good. The Tactician's Bag that is being sold in the base is pretty good. The Reclaimer knees in the base, another pretty good one. The Predator's holster is actually really good this week. I like it. The Pro Red Dot sight is also pretty good this week at the vendor in the basement. Now moving on, there's some other things. The Enhanced ACRE has some pretty good talents, and that is in Park Avenue. The holster at 5th Avenue is pretty good. It's got 1272 STAM, 1266 electronics, 7% skill haste, and you can roll firearms. The Hunter's Faith mask in DZ6 is pretty good. The Alpha Bridge chest piece in, I can't remember exactly where it is, but I think that's also in DZ6. That has some pretty good armor on it, 9% skill haste. It also has 15,946 health, so that one is pretty good. The Hunter's Faith chest in DZ9 is actually really good if you're using Hunter's Faith. The Final Measure gloves in DZ9 is also very, very good for AR users. The Rapid vest that's in East 58th Street is pretty good. It's got some good armor at 1933, 7% skill haste, and 5.5 enemy armor damage. Then getting onto the stuff that's okay, not really the best. The Historian, the Liberator, those are okay. There's a MP5 in DZ3 that's okay. The Banshee holster in DZ6 is okay. And there's some knee pads in East 31st Street that's okay. So go ahead and check those out. Starting off this week, we have been blessed with a surprise. I seriously made like the most shocked face ever. The Navy MP5 in Blueprint is being sold in the base. Hallelujah! So many PS4 people have been waiting for this. I know you guys are gonna be lighting my Twitter up probably right about now, letting me know that this is on sale, and man, I cannot wait to get to crafting. 22.4 is the maximum base damage that you can get with this character, so please be sure before you buy this to know what your max base damage is, so that you can get the proper roll and try to get the best roll possible. The converted Usc Submachine Gun is also being sold. The Stamina knee pads Blueprint, the Firearms gloves, the 5.52 Halo sight, which gives you crit hit chance, the Flash Hider Blueprint, which gives you accuracy, the Firearms gear mod, and the Electronics gear mod, all being sold. Of course, you know the pick is gonna be this Navy MP5N if you don't have it. Xbox people and probably PC people already had this, but for us PS4 folk, man, it's like the second coming of Jesus. Alright, at the special equipment vendor, starting it off, we have the Historian, which is actually not too bad. This is kind of okay. The headshot damage on it is pretty good. The base damage is alright. It comes with Ferocious, Predatory, and History Repeats. I'm not a huge fan of these particular... Why are you sliding in? Chick trying to slide into my DMs. You see this chick? Alright, anyway, so we've got the Ferocious, we've got Predatory. These are alright. I would say these are more PvE eccentric. This chick is really trying to get in, huh? Okay, so anyway, the Centurion is also pretty good this week. It comes with some pretty nice base damage. It comes with fierce as well, so if you like having your crits, or if your build is centered around crits, this is not too bad and maybe worth a look. The Cassidy, nice stagger, but I'm not really a fan of too much of it, but I do like having deadly on this. But yeah, it's a double barrel shotgun, so I mean, I guess if you're running with Lone Star, then it could be fun if you had two, but other than that, I don't really see it. The Pecan has pretty good base damage, not as good as it was for the one a few weeks ago, but it does have Fierce, it has Pecan, and it has Sustained. The Liberator, I'm not a huge fan of this one for this week. It does have some nice talents in Deadly and Destructive, but the base damage is a little bit low, about 2,000 shy. So if you can deal with that, then it's not too bad. You can probably roll Dominant off, get something pretty good. But yeah, Deadly and Destructive are nice for PvE, but yeah, the base damage is a little bit low. Now moving on to the weapons, not anything too amazing being shown. The Police M4 has Responsive, Ferocious, and Commanding, Responsive being one of the better talents. The base damage is pretty nice on it. It is close to the max, but the enemy armor damage is a bit low and the talents are not that great. Moving along to what other things might be worth you guys' interest, we're going to skip on down. I'm going to pass through these and you guys can check them out as you want, but the Dead Eye mask is not too bad. The armor on it is pretty nice at 992. Comes with some damage to elites for 11% and some exotic damage resilience. You can switch out exotic damage if you feel like it, or you can re-roll the firearms, which is pretty much in need of some help. Now moving on to the robust chest piece, the health on it is pretty nice. The armor on it is okay. It does come with 10.5 exotic damage resilience, and it comes with a little bit of ammo capacity. This is probably in the okay bin, but yeah, it's not in the super great, but it's alright if you need it. Now moving on to the Tactician's Bag, it has some pretty decent health on it. It comes with burn resist, which a lot of people like. The armor on it is respectable. You will have to do something about the electronics at 1214, but the health could be a little bit better, but the max health you can actually get on a bag is 13,339, so it's not that far off, but if you need a tac bag, there's a pretty decent one to grab. Now moving on to the Reclaimer knees, we've got some pretty okay skill power on these at 11,668. The armor on it is pretty amazing at 1654. We also have a little bit of damage to elite and some shock resist. Increased kill XP I'm not a fan of. You will have to do something about the major attributes since it is stamina at 1136. But when it comes down to knees, the maximum electronics that you can get on a pair of knees, I believe is 13,339, so a little bit low, but the armor, I think the armor and the damage to elites will make up for it for any PvE player, and the armor should help you out if you are a PvP player, so I wouldn't sleep on these, especially if you're using Reclaimer. Now moving on to the holsters, this Predator's Mark holster is definitely a top pick for me if I had to recommend something. The armor on it is a little bit low. I really wish the armor was higher, but it does come with 1270 firearms, 1249 health, and 1253 electronics, and it comes with a little bit of crit hit chance at 3.5, so it's not too rough. If you had to re-roll something, then I guess you more than likely would end up re-rolling your health probably, just because it's so low, but you could, I guess, bump your electronics if you felt like it. The firearms is just right, so yeah, this is definitely a pickup. I just wish that the armor was a little bit higher. Now moving on through the rest of this stuff, I don't really see anything super amazing, but I will say that there is an okay, this is a decent Pro Red Dot sight. Comes with 18% crit hit damage, 6% headshot damage. Unfortunately, it's accuracy and not crit hit chance. Had it been crit hit chance, it would have probably been the God roll, but it does not. So we have to just put it in the pretty good to alright section depending on how your build is stacked. And that will do it for the special equipment vendor. Let's see what other things are being sold around the division. Now moving on to the advanced weaponry vendor, actually I'm going to recommend this M45a1 Pistol. just because it has harmful on it. I know a lot of people still like using harmful in PvP, so if you need to have something like that, then this is a pretty okay one to have. The magazine size could be a bit better. You do want some that have a higher magazine size so that you can have more chances to get bleed, but you know, the base damage on it is alright, and if you're going to use it, then might as well hit them and hurt them a little bit at least. And then when you put on an extended mag, you will get about 14 rounds in there, so not too bad, maybe 14, 15. Now the Vector that's being sold, the base damage on it is alright. The talents I'm kind of mixed on. Adept is nice, Hurried is okay, Ferocious don't really know about, but if you do like using it, then go for it. The crit hit chance is a little bit low for my liking at 19.5, but there aren't many good weapons being sold at the advanced vendor this week. The tactical ACR has pretty okay talents with Fierce and Brutal. It does have Determined on it, but the base damage on it is a little bit low, and the enemy armor damage on it is not that great. The rest of these weapons I'm not a huge fan of in terms of their overall presentation. The talents and, you know, the base damage is generally what I look at when I start recommending stuff. So yeah, those are probably the only 2 to 3 weapons that I would recommend at the advanced weaponry vendor. As a quick side note, the Dark Zone vendor has a pair of Savage gloves with some pretty good armor on them, 991. The only problem is it comes with 1220 electronics, LMG damage, 7% skill haste. The maximum is 9, and it comes with enemy armor damage at 7, which is not too bad. But yeah, if you're looking for something like this, then it is in the base in the Dark Zone vendor. But let's keep it moving. Alright, over in Autumn's Hope, if you were looking for a robust chest piece, there's a pretty decent one being sold with 1954 armor on it. 6% enemy armor damage and 1507, well, I guess 15,071 health. That'll make it easier to say. And then it comes with 53% ammo capacity, which is not too bad. And with the changes coming to Deadeye pretty soon, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be moving over to robust chest pieces. So that's something to keep in mind just in case you are looking for something like that. You will need to do something with the major attribute roll of stamina. It is a bit low at 1183. In the meat locker, just as a quick shout out for the people who don't have one, there's an Omega rifle suppressor with 17.5 headshot damage, 3% crit hit chance, and 2.5 stability, 41% reduced threat. No, this is not the god roll. No, this is not anything great. It is okay at best. But if you don't have one, then you may want to pick one up. Hopefully we'll see something better this week, but as it stands right now, this is the best one that I've seen for regular credits. Another quick shout out, the Ward has a rapid chest piece. If you're looking for one, the armor on it is not too bad. It could be a little bit better, but 1824 is somewhatly acceptable. It does come with rapid. It has 5.5 enemy armor damage. It has 15,599 health, which is not too bad. Remember, the max for chest pieces health is 16,674, so you are a little bit under, about maybe 1,000 and a little bit under the max, but it is acceptable. Then you have some ammo capacity at 56%. The electronics is only at 1228, so you will have to do something about that. At East 64th Street, the return of the Skill Haste mod is here with a really nice 264 firearms and 3% skill haste. I know you guys are going to go nuts for that, so definitely go and check that out and pick it up if you need one. Alright, over in East 58th Street, the rapid chest piece has returned yet again. So in the Ward, we talked about a rapid chest piece, but this one has a bit more armor, and this one has skill haste instead of health. So if you are looking for one with skill haste, you're not too worried about health, then this could be one to go and grab from the Dark Zone vendor. You will need to do something about the firearms since it is 1122, but the enemy armor damage is the same. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. Now at Park Avenue, we talked a little bit earlier about an ACR being sold in the base. So here we have another ACR, this one with a little bit better base damage, this one 24.7. This one has much better enemy armor damage, comes with capable, responsive, and competent. I like these talents a lot better than the one in the base. The only difference is the one in the base will cost you regular credits, this will cost you Dark Zone monies. So if you don't mind spending that Dark Zone cash, this is not actually that bad, especially when you have competent, responsive, and then you have capable. Capable is not a bad talent to have, but if you want to roll that off and get something more to your liking, you definitely can do so. So if you're looking for an ACR, you still want to play with those, or you like those better than the M4s, then there you go. This one is a pretty solid one. Okay guys, as a quick little side note, in West 46th Street there is a loud vent brake being sold. I know a lot of people go on about the loud vent brake, they like the 19% critical hit damage, but I will say this as a PSA, and this is my personal opinion, don't buy it. I would say stay away from loud vent brakes just because the increased threat is really harsh. If you're running solo, you definitely don't want this, but if you are running in a group and maybe you have an SMG with the defense shield build, then definitely go ahead and pick it up and use it for that kind of build to draw the aggro so that your teammates can easily take out the enemies while you hide behind your shield. But if you do not run that, and if you're just running this kind of loud vent brake on an SMG, especially with the Navy MP5s being blueprints being sold, people are probably going to pick that up, maybe throw this on to get that extra crit damage. But if you're running this solo or in a group of 2 or maybe even 3 and nobody's running a shield, you will have all the aggro, everyone will be shooting at you, and you will not be able to do anything. So keep that in mind. Try to get a better muzzle, something with maybe reduced threat. You definitely don't want to stick with increased threat unless you have a shield build or you're trying to run super tanky and you want to draw all the aggro. The only reason I'm saying this is for the newer agents who are not really hip to it and are just looking at the numbers. This is something you definitely want to keep track of when you start making your builds. Over in East 42nd Street, as a quick little shout out, there is a G36C being sold. The enemy armor damage on it is nice at 23. The base damage is alright at a 25.8 with this character. Talents are brutal, sustained, and focused. If you like focus, then this is great for you. Brutal, if you can land those headshots, is awesome, good damage. And then sustained, well, some people like sustained, some people don't. I'm not a huge fan of it, so I would probably go for something else in that second slot. But yeah, if you're looking for the G36, you like the G36, then this was an alright one to get. It's not the God roll, but it is pretty decent. Okay, in 5th Avenue, there is a nice little steadfast holster that is being sold. If you're looking for one, health regen kicks in twice as fast when you're in cover. The armor on it could be a lot better. 881 is not really something that I would recommend, although it's probably higher than the one that I've got. But it does come with 1272 stamina, which is the max. It comes with 1266 firearms. 1266 electronics, and it comes with 1160 firearms. It comes with 7% skill haste, which is also pretty good, and then you can re-roll that firearms to get it to where you want it to be. So this is not a bad holster if you don't mind having steadfast. And steadfast, having that health kick in when you hit cover is not a bad thing to do, especially if you're hurting. It'll save you in a pinch more than likely. So check it out if you need a nice little holster that's got some pretty nice stats on it. Okay, in East 31st Street, just throwing it out, there's a nice little pair of knee pads being sold. The main reason I'm recommending this is because the armor is so nice at 1656. The firearms is, I would say, probably reroll ready at 1241. It does come with some skill power at 12137. The max skill power you can get, as usual with the knee pads, is 13339, so keep that in mind. And then it comes with damage to elites, 14%, disrupt, and shock resistance. I know burn and fire are the main ones that people like, but the armor on it is still pretty nice and something you may want to consider. Alright, over in DZ6, seems this vendor has some pretty decent stuff this week. He's got a Hunter's Faith mask with some pretty decent armor at 994, skill power at 9626. The max skill power that you can get on a mask is 10,030. So this is maybe about 400 and a little bit off from the max, so not too bad if you are looking for something for Hunter's Faith and skill power. You also have the Alpha Bridge chest, which again has some pretty decent armor on it at 1984. The stamina on it is a bit low. You will need to do something about that, but the skill haste is maxed out at 9. The health at 15,946 with the maximum health that you can get off of a chest piece at 16,674. So not too bad. It also comes with ammo capacity. So if you're still trying to run that 4-piece Alpha Bridge, then there you go. A pretty decent chest piece. And then there's the Sentry Call backpack. The armor on it is okay. Comes with some skill power, bleed resist. The Dead-Eye knee pads come with enemy armor damage, shock, bleed, and disorient resist. And some the armor on it is not that bad at 1600. Then you have the Banshee Shadow holster. The roll on it is not that bad. Crit hit chance at 3.5. You got 1244 firearms, 1251 electronics, and a pathetic 1182 stamina. And the armor on it could be a bit better, but it is okay if you need something in the Banshee slot, but you don't want to waste maybe your gloves or your chest or your mask or your bag. You may want to pick up one of these holsters just to save yourself a little bit of a headache. The defense stuff is, I'm not really going to recommend this one just because it's defense with LMG. I don't really see how that would work. But yeah, I mean, I guess you could run it in a second. You could run LMG first and then your SMG secondary. So maybe not too bad, but you probably want your SMG on your gloves anyway. So that's what's going on in DZ6. Alright, the final stop on the train in DZ9, we have a final measure mask which has a pretty good stamina roll on it at 1262 if you're looking for stamina. It does come with health on kill, burn resist, which a lot of people like, and the armor is not that bad. The armor on the Hunter's Faith chest piece is pretty nice at 1969. It does come with 9% skill haste, 5.5 enemy armor damage, 52% ammo capacity, and the stamina on it is not that great, but you can re-roll that and get something a lot better. It's a pretty decent chest piece if you're looking for Hunter's Faith, if you like that build. And then we have the defense bag. I'm not a big fan of this one. The skill power is okay. It does come with burn resist, but the armor is not that great, and also the firearms is not that great either. Then we have the Lone Star knee pads. Again, not a fan of this, but it does come with shock and burn resist if you're looking for that for some Lone Star. The armor on it is okay at 1518, but it could be a bit better. The Banshee holster is a definite pass. This is garbage. No good rolls on it. And then the final measure gloves, the armor on it is okay at 922, and then it comes with assault rifle damage. So if you are running AR with final measure, this could work out really well for you. It comes with 14% critical hit damage and 6% critical hit chance. So this is not a bad pair of gloves if you are running for final measure. Alright agents, that is it for this week's good or garbage. I hope that this helped you out a lot, and if it did, please remember to like and leave a comment. Let me know what you guys pick up. I always like hearing what you guys decide to buy this week. I know a lot of people are going to be getting that Navy MP5. I've already bought mine. As soon as I got done recording the footage, I went ahead and grabbed that. I love that weapon. So hopefully I'll get a good roll. If I do, I'll post it on Twitter or maybe even Instagram and let you guys see it. And you let me know what you got and what kind of rolls you guys got on your Navy MP5s. And yeah, that'll pretty much do it. If you are on console and you haven't seen the state of the game, definitely go and check out my state of the game video. There's a lot of really good information for the console players and some good information for PC players as well, so you definitely want to go and check that out. And yeah, there's also a little thing going on this weekend with the daily assignments. You get double the rewards for those, and unfortunately, I don't know what happened. I guess I forget what that thing is called, but the vendor that sells the special clothes, the ones that cost actual money, they were having a really nice sale that was like 75% off. But for today, when I started this video, those things weren't on sale and nothing was on sale. Everything was full price, so there might be a little bug or a glitch going on with that, but definitely stay tuned. There's supposed to be like a week-long sale on specific clothing, so if you do like decking out your clothes just like I do, then definitely go ahead and check it out. Some of those sets are really cheap and kind of worth picking up if you do like, you know, dressing up your character. So with all of that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and if you do, please remember to share and let me know what you guys decided to pick up this week. I do like hearing that stuff. So until next time, I am Khan, Mr. So Real. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Have a great weekend. Peace.